Alright, it's Impending Rival again. Today we're talking about a story for a brand new campaign. This is a DC Marvel Avatar crossover. It's it's possibly it might possibly be the biggest campaign I've ever done. It's called Massacre. It's called Massacre Collision.
I had this idea this morning. In fact, I had it a week ago. I had an idea of a DC Marvel Avatar crossover. This is all from Jason Voorhees 2011's previous channel, Joker Fan 1138. He had what was it? He had Project Ares. He had Worlds Collide. Both of those were DC Marvel. Both of those were DC Marvel Avatar crossovers. Now he's making a Project Ares campaign. It's a DC Marvel Harry Potter crossover. But I never watched the Avatar. Yes, I have seen the Avatar cartoon, but I haven't seen the entire book one. And I really like the movie. So I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna kill me. So don't kill me, man. It's an opinion. So I'm only gonna use the movie's footage because it's not cool using animation and live action together. I've done that many times in the past, and I don't want to do it again. It's just a dumb move. So I'd rather use the live action film rather than using animation because I think that's a dumb idea. What I will keep is Dev Patel as Zuko because I thought that was a great casting. Who cares? I don't care if who's Asian and who's Asian. I'm recasting Cliff Curtis as Ozai. Richard Armitage from The Hobbit and The Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug will play Ozai. Richard Armitage. If you don't know who he is, look up Richard Armitage Hobbit or Richard Armitage Hobbit: Desolation of Smaug. He looks the same way. But let's get on the story of Massacre Collision. Massacre Collision. So the story opens up with with some slight sorry, I'm just trying to think about it. The story opens with Aang getting put into Earth, because his parents. This is a totally different version of the creation of his storyline. So Aang's parents, his Avatar ancestors, put him in a capsule, but this isn't their planet didn't explode. No, this isn't a planet, dude. In a spaceship, their Avatar ancestors of Aang put Aang in the space capsule and launched him to Earth. Therefore, and then the DC Marvel team decide to hear this all over the news, and they look up Aang on Google and they search and they find nothing because it's unexisted. So Firelord Ozai hears this, and he confronts Zhao. This is before the Avatar cartoon ever existed. So Ozai confronts Zhao. He wants to kill the DC Marvel team. So in this movie, Ozai and Aang work together because they're both good. They're both good, and they're both bad guys. They're both the main villains. The DC Marvel team are the good guys, and Ozai and Aang are the villains. So Logan creates this facility, right? Creates this facility, and decides to put the X-Men in one facility to keep them clear, and wants to put the Avengers in one facility, then puts the Justice League, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, which consists of Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, next trailer show Wonder Woman, probably. But she may not be she'll still be played by Adrienne Palicki, but won't be put in the Wonder Woman pilot, and that's about it. Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman. It's a small team. So Logan splits up the X-Men into splits the X-Men into a one capsule, splits the Avengers, and which includes Spider-Man and Logan, into another capsule. And then Logan wants to keep Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman aside from the capsules he because he thinks they're new. He's never heard of Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Green Lantern. This is totally different. He's never heard of these guys. So he decides to keep them out of the situation while the Avengers and the X-Men are deploying their capsules to go transport them to the ship that brought Aang to Earth. So this is very science fiction. It's not fantasy anymore. So yeah, the capsules is what brings their capsules into the ship. And you might be wondering, before we continue, you might be wondering what Massacre Collision is. It's nothing, okay? It's just some pretentious title I thought up with. It's like the Unworthy Prototype. It's just some cool, nifty title I could come up with. It's nothing big. It's just some cool title. It's Massacre Collision. It's the best I could come up with. So, sorry. The capsules that X-Men and the Avengers got got thrown into the facility. Thrown in the facilities where they were gotten the capsules. They went into the spaceship that brought Aang to Earth. And then they start fighting the Avatar ancestors. But then the Avengers they leave the spaceship because the Avatar ancestors were about to lock the X-Men up, and they did, but they didn't lock the Avengers up because they escaped before the ancestors. I'm tired of calling them before the ancestors could reach them. So the Avengers are free. So Aang thinks that Aang is the opposite of good here. He's not the lovable Kurd. He's not even that boring, that sad, depressing guy he was in the movie. No, he's more serious. He's more arrogant. He's more like Zod in Man of Steel. He's more angry. He's more pissed off. More like the bad guy in Star Trek Nemesis, played by Tom Hardy. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I love that movie. So yeah. So Aang is the opposite. So he wants because he thinks heroes are. I don't know how to put it. Heroes are stupid. He thinks heroes are traitors, so he brings in Rocket Raccoon into the team. You might be wondering how he does this. Well, because he was in a spaceship, Aang finds a transmission beacon in his ship, which to locate the Rocket Raccoon brings him to Earth so he can fight the team, the DC Marvel team. I was gonna call the DC Marvel team Massacre Collision, but I thought that would be kind of silly, so I wanted to keep it as it is. But so after this happens, Captain America gets pissed. All right, Captain America is very angry. Okay, he has enough to tolerate in this thing. He goes crazy, and he blames it on Logan, because Logan was the one who brought them to the capsules. So Captain America gets all pissed off, and Logan tries to calm him down, but Captain America is just so outraged for what he could have gotten himself into. But meanwhile, in the Fire Nation temple, this time it's without Aang. Ozai has a meeting with one of his Fire Nation members. He wants to. He talks about Aang's appearance to Earth, and You know how Earth, they have the Earth bending form? I thought that would be kind of cool to bring Aang into Earth. Get it? Earth bending. Yeah? So, like I said, Ozai has a meeting with one of his Fire Nation soldiers, and Ozai creates a map. He creates a map to find the Avatar. So, not to kill him, not to hunt him down like in the cartoon or in the movie, but to just to test him, to just try to eradicate him. That Fire Lord wants to eradicate Aang first, and then go to the DC Marvel team. But then, Ozai has a different sense of heart and releases Aang, and they both team together. He was about to eradicate Aang, but then Ozai had a different mind and releases him. So so the X-Men are still in the spaceship until Superman flies into the spaceship. Superman wants to bring back the X-Men, so he gets into one giant fight with the Avatar ancestors, which is pretty cool, by the way. So Superman frees the X-Men with a eject button, and then they all go, and then you might be wondering, how is the X-Men able to fly in space? Well, Superman uses the spaceship with the X-Men in it to fly it back to Earth, and then Superman isn't survived. Superman is, of course, everyone's survived. So then after all this has happened, Aang and Superman have one final battle. So it is Aang versus Superman. So Superman has, like you've seen the end of the teaser trailer, Superman and Aang fight. So, towards the end of the teaser trailer. So you see them fight, and they fight. It's not like Man of Steel where it's countlessly half an hour of fighting. It's much smoother. You see, Superman decides to fight in the desert, not revolving around and not causing any damage. So he gets into one fight with Aang, doesn't work out. So then the Fire Lord sends his Fire Nation soldiers to go after Superman. Superman obviously knocks them all out. So then the DC Marvel team comes in, and they decide, and then Logan decides to team back together to fight Ozai's army, while Superman fights Aang. So Superman and Aang fight, while the other people, the other DC Marvel, the other people are fighting Ozai and his Fire Nation soldiers. So, and then the movie ends, and then I think that's the end of the movie. I think. And then it ends at the cliffhanger. Then Aang survives, and then in the spaceship that launched Aang into Earth, we see Brainiac, played by Tom Hardy. Like you've seen that in the teaser trailer. We see Brainiac at the end of the movie. It's not all the way at the end of the credits. It's just like the Wolverine and Green Lantern after the still credits. So yeah, after the credits, Aang resurrected and then talks to Brainiac, and then that's the end. That's Massacre Collision. I hope you enjoyed it. So that's my story for Massacre Collision. I hope you really liked it, and if you do, please subscribe, comment, and like.